Welcome everybody. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about one of Pueblo's more colorful visitors, and I'll begin by saying punks. That's what these kids are these days. Punks. Wannabe gangsters. Now me, I was a real gangster. I was born Charles Arthur Floyd in 1904. But after my mug started making it onto the wanted posters, everybody started calling me Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy Floyd. By the way, the picture that was on them wanted posters was taken right here in Pueblo, but I'll come back to that later. Yep, that was me. Pretty Boy Floyd. Can't say I much liked the nickname, but it kinda stuck. Guess it was the same with my compadre, Babyface Nilsson. I never thought he looked much like a baby, and neither did he. Now, I ain't saying I was the most popular bad boy of the 20s and 30s, but I done pretty good. When I was 18, I robbed the post office for $3.50. In pennies. Pretty dumb idea taking pennies, but after that I branched out. I robbed banks, peddled drugs, and I shot people. 6. I killed 6 men in my time. Can't say as I was proud of that, but sometimes when you're in a corner, it seems like you ain't got no other way out, especially when you're dubbed one of the top 10 gangsters in the country. I had me a little hideout in Cookson Hills, Oklahoma. That's where I would go between jobs. Hospitable folks in them hills. They called me Robin Hood of the Cookson Hills. See, word got out that when I robbed banks, I also destroyed mortgage payments. And I usually tried to share what I stole, so the people in Oklahoma loved it. It's a nice little town you got here. I was here once, you know. May 1929. I was staying at the boarding house down on Union. I was with 3 or 4 of my lady friends, you know. Seeing if we could start up a business here, make some money. The place got raided by 3 of Pueblo's finest. I guess they thought we was with Red Sheena, who was wanted for murder over in Kansas City, Missouri. We got picked up, sentenced to 60 days and a $50 fine. I guess they didn't know I was pretty famous myself because they let me out in a week, as long as I promised never to come back here. Anyway, it was right about that time that my picture was taken. In this very building, no less. Soon after, my wanted poster started popping up, painting me as public enemy number 1, shortly after the death of John Dillinger, mind you. That was one of the best pictures I ever had took. Eventually they got me, though. It was October 22nd, 1934. The feds surrounded me and my gang in a little town in Ohio. I'd almost been pinched by the feds lots of times, but this time I knew it was for keeps. I pulled out my pistol, stepped out of my car, and I went out cussing the feds. It was over in just a couple of minutes. 5 years later, a guy named Rudy Guthrie wrote a ballad about me. It was also sung by a gal named Joan Baez and a guy named Bob Dylan, so I guess it was kind of a big deal. Yep, it's a nice little town you got here. Lots of pretty ladies. I always like the pretty ladies. So have a good night.